So, the first one. The Bible says God created the earth in 7 days. How does the Big Bang Theory fit into this?
The Big Bang Theory would be incompatible with a literalistic interpretation of Genesis chapter 1, an interpretation that takes the days to be consecutive 24-hour periods of time. However, since the time of the Church Fathers, such as Augustine, up until the present century, most biblical scholars don't adopt that sort of literalistic interpretation of the opening chapter of Genesis. And I say that not on the basis of modern science, but on the basis of the text itself. There are indications in the text itself that the author didn't intend this to be taken in a sort of wooden literalistic way. And so someone like St. Augustine, for example, knew nothing of modern cosmology or geology, but didn't take this in a literalistic way. And I think that that is correct. I would say that there are many different non-literal ways of construing Genesis 1 that are open to biblically faithful Christians today and that are wholly consistent and consonant with the data of modern cosmology.
So do you want to fit that sort of story into that theory at all, or you just say it's poetic kind of
okay,
thought?
now this is a good question, if I understood your question. You asked, do I want to fit in, right, that
Yes.
cosmology into the Genesis story? And I want to say emphatically no. This is a hermeneutic called concordism, where you try to read the findings of modern science back into these ancient texts. And I think textual scholars and interpreters of literature will say this is an illegitimate hermeneutic. That is, say, theory of interpretation. This is the sort of interpretation that tries to find hints of, say, modern television in the Bible, tries to read modern science back into these narratives. And that's not the way to read ancient literature. You put yourself within the horizon or the shoes of the original ancient author himself and ask, how would he and his audience for whom he wrote understand this? And while I think that the narrative, as I said, is compatible with modern science, it's a mistake hermeneutically to try to read modern science back into it. And so I think we need to let these documents stand on their own and interpret them using the standard hermeneutical tools for reading ancient literature.